Alright, so we just finished up a super sweet workout at the home gym. Both of Jesse's cousins actually came and worked out with us, so that was really cool. But now I'm heading over to my mom's house to help her out with a couple things before I head into Spirit for the day. So my mom is the strongest individual that I know and has been an absolutely incredible role model for me my entire life. When my mom was probably my age, she was in an accident. She was hit by a drunk driver and she actually broke her back in that accident. So that ended up being just a massive life-changing event for her as a young adult. But she was a bodybuilder when she was younger, so the doctors, were just marveling at her recovery process, and really if she hadn't taken care of her body the way she had been up until that point, I really don't think she'd be, walking today. She's walking, she's doing great. And sometime before I was born, I think in 95 or 90, I think it was like 95, she was newly married to my dad, and it happened again. It happened again basically right outside of the neighborhood that we live in now. A 15-year-old kid forgot to defrost his windshield some morning and ended up hitting them and hitting the passenger side where my mom was sitting, and she broke her back again. So she's broken her back twice in her life and is still walking, and she lives with chronic pain. And I've gotten to grow up and see how she deals with that. This is the kind of woman who refuses to take heavy painkillers because she knows that they can be addictive, and she doesn't want to set that example for her kids. She doesn't want to go down the rabbit hole of painkillers like that because she doesn't want to be forced into a situation where she could set an example of habitual medication and usage like that for her kids. So I've seen this woman deal with this pain my entire life with a smile on her face, and seriously, I can't imagine a better role model for how to be happy in a situation where everything feels like, the world is coming down on you, right? Like, imagine living with pain that persists day and night, 24/7, 365 days a year, with a smile on your face. I have no idea how it's possible. So I'm going over to help her. Her back is, in really rough shape today, and I'm gonna go help her with a couple things around the house to try and let her relax and make her feel better. And yeah, that's what we're doing today. Just got to Spirit Halloween. We're gonna crush the last store in build out today. Yep. Let's say something to the camera now.
No.
Perfect. So I just finished up another day at Spirit Halloween, which was really good. I think I've got one more day tomorrow, and the store should be done at this point. It's getting a little later in the day. We just had a really sweet rain, which I always love. I'm a huge fan of the rain, and it's a hot commodity when you live in the desert like I do. I just ate some dinner, and now I'm gonna get ready because I'm gonna be a guest on a podcast pretty soon. It's a late one. It starts at 9 o'clock. And the episode, I don't know when they air. I think it's a live one. But yeah, that's really exciting. I've never been on a podcast before, so I can't wait to see what that's like, and I'm honored that I'm going to be a guest. And if you're interested in checking it out, the podcast is called Muse Me TV. So I always try and sprinkle some takeaways or something of value into these episodes. That way you guys can watch it and maybe learn something or adapt to something new that you've never tried before. And I don't really have anything concrete today, but the one thing I did want to talk about is concerts and live music. And you don't even have to tell me, because I know how much you're missing it, because I'm missing it just an insane amount. I mean, that's my favorite part of being a musician. I love writing music, and I love recording, and it's a lot of fun, but those things for me can be really stressful. I'm so focused on the details and being a perfectionist, and it's just this big thing that I have to almost deal with as a part of being a musician, right? But playing live, even though it does come with its own stresses and moments of anxiety, when you're on the stage like that, and if you've ever experienced this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But when you're on the stage, you're in the zone, you're in the moment, you're doing what you feel like you should be doing. It's a very natural thing, and that's the part of this whole thing that I live for. That's what I crave, and that being taken away, especially for so long, has just been so hard on me, and I know it's been hard on all of you as well. As whether you're a musician who plays live, or even just a fan of music who wants to go see a concert. Because I know as a kid, when I went to go see concerts, that was like the biggest thing I could do. I was anticipating it so much. It was one of my favorite bands coming to play, and it was like this religious experience. I'd go and I'd see these people that I looked up to so much, and I'd see them do their thing, and it was just so inspiring for me as a young musician. And the last concert I played was in November of last year, and we're getting uncomfortably close to a year anniversary of having not played a show. And that's not an anniversary that I want to celebrate. My ideal lifestyle is to be on the road like all the time. That's my thing. I want to be traveling. I love traveling. I love seeing the world, all the different unique places, and that being basically combined with living your passion and your dream, those two things coming together is just, who could want anything more, right? But an interesting thing that happened through all of this, shows being canceled, bands can't operate anymore, it really gave me an odd sense of peace, because for so long I really went overboard on the band thing, and I'll explain that to you. I was so headstrong about doing things in a business way, booking shows, everything being perfect, everybody had to be, it was just it was a weird expectation I had, being a young kid, trying to figure this whole thing out, and looking at my idols and hearing everybody say, oh, music is a business, you have to run it like a business if you want it to succeed. And I really took that to heart, and yeah, it was just a mess, and it was very stressful. Music became very stressful for me. It got to the point where I didn't enjoy it anymore. I didn't really enjoy the things that I loved, like going out and playing and writing music and stuff like that. It became a chore because it almost became work without pay. It was weird. It was very weird. So the pandemic, through all the horrible things that it's caused and all of the bad situations that people have gotten into because of it, for me, I guess a silver lining was that my band couldn't operate as a band anymore. And I know that sounds really weird, but it really took away all of that stress that I had compiled. And what it did for me is it gave me a lot of clarity on how I should be viewing this band thing. And yes, you should run it as a business if you want to be making money, and ultimately that's what I want to do eventually. But for now, I think the main idea, if you're in a band and you're trying to start something fresh, is figure out how to keep it as fun as possible. Because that's the way that you basically achieve longevity. If it's fun, you're going to want to do it. If it's not fun, you're not going to want to do it. It's as simple as that. So with all that being said, go ahead and post your takeaways and opinions down in the comments below so that I can respond to them and have a conversation with you guys about what you think and what you're trying, because I really am curious, because I haven't figured this out yet, and I want to create a community here that can, learn from each other. I want to learn from you. I want you to learn from what I have to say if it makes sense for you. But yeah, the sun is going down now, and I think it's time to go ahead and get ready for that podcast.
Yes,
what's up, dude? How are you?
Pretty good. How's it going, dude?
Good.
Are you a dog person? She's super awesome.
I love dogs, dude.
She is so good. Her name is BB-8.
BB-8?
Yeah.
No way.
BB-8.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, stop being so needy. Come on.
Oh, it's okay. You can be as needy as you want.
3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's lose it.